Scott from Aristocob.com here.
And Seth from theshrinkingpastor.com.
And together, just the three of us, because we have just sent the mouse to the furnace.
Viking fire, Viking
right.
funeral.
That's right. Together, the three of us, we are Markwood Men's Breakfast Club. Welcome back. It's a continuation of Tobacco Advent.
I feel like
the bonus days.
I feel like there was a missed opportunity to light the fire with a bow and arrow, though. Make it truly.
I had neither a bow nor
Viking.
an arrow.
We need to get some up in the shop here.
But we should have taken at least a picture for Instagram.
Yeah,
we were just so happy to have that sucker caught.
Well, you say that as if you have confidence it's the only one that was here. I'm not so confident.
That's
we have caught one mouse.
Well, no one made a snack of him, and that's what often happens when you have a dead mouse is that others chowed out. So, but you're right.
He sells out of concert.
I have 3 more traps, so we can set more.
Yeah.
But anyway, welcome back once again. Today we are going to open up a package that was sent to us from Mr. Jason Dagner, and Jason is going to tell us about the tobacco that he sent. Take it, Jason.
Merry Christmas, Seth and Scott. I sent you guys a tin of John Aylesbury Virginia Blend English Classic, and when I purchased this, I thought that the description was right up my alley. I got the tin, I opened it, I smelled it, and I was scared to put it in my pipe. So I thought it would be a perfect tobacco for you guys to guinea pig and have fun with, and give me your honest opinion whether or not I should have kept it or not. All right, Happy New Year, and look forward to seeing you guys at the next road trip event.
Okay, so we opened the package here. Jason, thank you very much for sending this along,
Yep.
and we will give you a full report. John Aylesbury. My dyslexia makes it very difficult for me to sound out words.
John Aylesbury. It says, "I warned you."
And Jason also says he has sent us a Christmas present.
What?
So thank you, Jason, as if the bad tobacco weren't enough.
So this is John Aylesbury Virginia Blend English Classic, and the rest of the label is not in English.
Oh, well, that's promising.
Ein Gerhardval Mischung aus Edelsten Virginia Tobacken. That's very interesting.
Something tells me
right.
that you've just insulted at least...
I didn't mean it.
At least one other nation.
Yeah. Well, last year Roanoke, this year a European.
Look at this. Look at this. Jason Dagner, you are the man. So Jason has sent us a couple of his little cozies. And look at that.
That's sweet.
That's really cool. And I wonder if... Did you send us a cob? We had already discussed the fact that I was going to smoke this tobacco in a Dagner cob. And I said to Seth, first off, you know, this is the official corn cob pipe of Tobacco Advent, but I don't think I want to do that to a Dagner cob. Check this out. Oh, wow.
Whoa.
That is gorgeous. Look at that. That is neat. And is that a setter? A setter? Maybe we have to load it to be a setter. Wow, that's cool. Thank you, Jason. I think I know. I still don't want to smoke in this.
No, you haven't smelled this?
Here, I don't know.
I don't know that you want to smoke it in that.
Maybe we'll swap these later, but that's beautiful. Golly, Jason. Thank you so much. And typical Dagner swag. We need some Dagner swag in this shop.
Look at that.
Beautiful. Good.
That's awesome.
So I don't have to fight over you for that one. Look at this. We got the this is the sticker that is the logo on the bottom of the Dagner cob. Look at these. Man, I got enough to put on my van.
And a Dagner tamper.
It looks an awful lot like a golf tee.
You can tell by the paint job. Thank you, Jason. It's awesome.
Just a little bit of a backstory I can tell you about that. Jason contacted me one day and asked me, would it be okay, would I have a problem if he offered golf tee tampers? Dude, do what you want. But he was nice enough, and I don't know, maybe he was taking seriously my
Trademark.
April Fool's Day patent. But very, very nice. Wow. These are 2 Christmas pipes that weren't perfect. I'm not going to look for imperfections. I learned a lesson about gift horses. Santa said that I should send them to you with this tin of tobacco that I was scared to try. Hope you enjoy. Look forward to your next visit, which will be in January. I'll have to send you some information on that, Jason. But thank you so much. That's absolutely beautiful.
Unfortunately, I won't be there.
No, you won't.
In January.
All right.
Someday.
So I'm going to put that aside and find something nice to smell
Here,
in that.
smell this.
Yep, that's not going to be it. Wow. That's
Some
weird
odd flavor profile, smell
Here, can you
profile.
set that over there?
Absolutely.
Because I'm going to be tempted to fill that. So I think that our question of the day, if we were to have one, is kind of looking forward to 2017. And the question I'd love to know the answer from you about, and that we'll discuss, what will you do differently in 2017 than you did in 2016? Name one thing that you intend to do differently, and I expect you to do it.
I think 2017 will not be the year of send us your worst tobaccos. Because I'm
We've been
currently
there,
regretting that decision.
I have regretted it for about 20 days. Mercifully, there were a few in the mix that were okay.
Honestly, it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Need I remind you of Crooner?
But had they all been as bad as some of the worst, then it would not have been fun.
Seriously, the deer tongue, we had 2 different tobaccos with deer tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And a dramatic difference between the two. So clearly, with that, in that case, the deer tongue needs to be just a small amount, because it wasn't bad at all. In the second one, the Crooner. I say, as Bing Crosby would say, that was bad.
So the question isn't what new things will you do, but what will you change? What will you do differently?
Right.
That's difficult. I've got some ideas of some new things that I want to try, want to attempt in the upcoming year. But things to change. I don't know. What's yours?
My thing to change this year is I intend to be more engaged in those occasions, particularly around the dinner table, where I tend to gravitate to my phone. And it's not that I'm bored with this conversation, so I'm going to go to my phone. But so many times in the conversation, I want to Google something. Today at dinner, 3 different times, I Googled something. It could have waited, but then the problem with my memory is if I let something wait, unless I make a note about it, then I'll completely forget to do it. So I guess there's the 2 sides of it. I number 1, want to make sure that I'm engaged. Number 2 is I need to get back to maybe carrying a little pocket notepad or something, so that I can make that quick note to myself and follow up. Even when I go and jump on my phone and throw something onto my calendar, which is my way of reminding me, I have several reminders popping up at 11 p.m. tonight, which will be around the time where I know grandkids will be asleep, Jandy is usually gone off to bed, the dog is satisfied, and I can usually take care of some additional business. And so I'll jump on my phone and throw a reminder on my calendar. Well, even that, to do it right, takes me away from the conversation for a minute. So that's actually something I'm planning on doing. And I tried, but I need to be better at it.
Yeah, that's one of those things that ultimately, to everyone else at the table, it doesn't matter what you're doing when you pull the phone out. It doesn't matter if you're putting something in the calendar, if you're responding to a work email, if you're Googling, if you're playing...
Chatting with Jason Dagner.
Chatting with Jason Dagner. If you're playing Angry Birds. It doesn't matter because they don't know what you're doing. What they're seeing is that whatever's happening on the phone is more important than whatever's happening around the table. That's a bad message. Now, the other thing that I would challenge is to question, is it that important? You know, there's things that come up that we have all just grown very accustomed to, reaching for our phone and Googling. Oh, who is that person in that movie?
That was the question.
Right? Ultimately, would you be okay if you don't find out the answer now? Probably. And if you don't find out the answer now, do you really need to jot it down to remember later? Because you're just going to remember and you're going to move on in a heartbeat.
I was listening to a recording of a Skype conversation I had with a friend about a year ago. And just today pulled that up and was listening to it. And there was a point in that recorded conversation where I stopped the conversation and pulled out my phone and Googled something. It's really not that important to know that Kevin Kline played Dave in the movie Dave.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. You know, I've mentioned several times that's something that I'm personally trying to be better at, and it's definitely challenging. But I think it's important.
Oh, the other night I actually left my phone in the car, which I've never done on purpose. That drives me batty to not have my phone with me. But intentionally I left it in the car. And again, I can't tell you how many times. And the problem with that is I wanted to take a picture of my food.
Right. Right.
How about you?
So I think that I will. I'm going to continue a trend that I've just very recently picked up, and that is trying to capitalize on, trying to really make the most out of what free time I do have. One thing that I have done throughout the year, as I have about a half-hour commute to work and half an hour home, is I've been listening to ebooks or audiobooks and podcasts. But recently, over the last couple weeks, I've been listening to different podcasts. I've kind of changed it up. And I think what I'm listening to now is more, I've got some things that are very, very intently business focused, which is a good use of that time, I think. I've got some audiobooks that are business focused that I just don't feel like I have the time to read. But listening to them is good. I would say that listening to an audiobook, you get, 70% out of it what you would get by reading it. But if the option is not reading it or getting 70%, I'll take the 70%.
Yeah, that's true. I am rendering my verdict.
All right, what is it?
Thanks, Jason, but no thanks. I'll bring that back with me in January.
I have to say, I'm going to give it some points.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It kind of has a wet dog taste, a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But the taste is not nearly as bad as the smell.
Good point.
So
the room note.
So if of the tobacco, it smelled worse in the can than I think it smoked, even though it wasn't a favorite.
And you sent us so much of it.
It's not the worst tobacco I've ever smoked.
No, it's not. That's not the worst we've smoked this season.
Tobacco Advent.
Thank you, Jason. Nice to have you participate with us, and your generosity is appreciated. For those of you who are sick and tired of corn cobs, I've heard that some folks like to branch out from corn cobs. Check Jason out. He's got some really neat pipes.
Yep.
That's a gorgeous pipe.
It is.
So
thank you.
Thanks again. So how about you? the rest of you. What are you going to do differently this coming year? I'd love to hear about it. Thank you all for commenting all along, and we'll talk to you again maybe tomorrow.